Thank you both so much for being with us. Jess, I want to start with you. Let's talk about the economic factor. I want to pull up two maps on the screen for our viewers. Take a look at these. On the left, there's a map of the states likely to ban abortion access. And then on the right, the poverty rate in each state. States with a higher poverty rate are the ones likely to limit reproductive freedom. So tell me, Jess, how does the lack of abortion access impact low-income families who require care?
Well, it impacts them in almost every way conceivable, definitely economically. Something that a lot of people not already in this fight don't realize is how difficult it already is to get an abortion. In Indiana, it's been hard for a long time because of all of the restrictions. And just this week, I talked to 60 individual people, all struggling to get the care they need. And, you know, it's already been bad and it's going to get worse, but we are here for pregnant people and we're not going anywhere.
Well, just explain to me the how of how this is hard, because it can be hard in innumerable ways, right? It can be hard because you can't find, an available appointment. It can be hard because you don't have the time to take off work. It can be hard because you don't have the money to travel across state lines. When you are talking with patients, with people who need care, what are the barriers that today are already set up?
Sure. When I talk to people, the first thing is that they just already feel stigmatized. They feel like I'm not going to help them, like I'm going to judge them, but that's not something we've ever done. The second thing is just the confusion of finding out what is an actual abortion clinic and what is not, because a lot of the CPCs, crisis pregnancy centers, mask themselves as clinics. And so it can be difficult sometimes even just to know what's a safe clinic to go to that is an actual abortion clinic. The third is just getting there. Depending on where they live in the state, they may also, we're not as bad as South Dakota, but they may also be facing a 3 to 5 hour drive to access care. And as has already been established, the majority of people accessing abortion care are already parents. Most of them have multiple young children at home. So if they have a job, they've got to get time off work 2 individual times because they have to attend 2 separate appointments, at least 18 hours apart. That's 2 times off work, 2 times finding transportation, 2 times finding childcare, and sometimes even just having to keep the secret because the issue is so stigmatized and they may not have supportive people in their lives. So just by the time they get to me on the phone, they're already freaked out. And then I get to tell them how expensive it's going to be. But that's another thing we're here to help with.
Yeah, Alexis, I, a few months ago, was talking to someone who does the work you do. She does it down in Texas. And she said, I got to be honest with you, we have been preparing for this moment for years, right? How does an organization like yours plan to help people who might live in a state with strict abortion laws that are only becoming stricter?
Yeah, so states that have restricted access or are expected to have restricted access, we've been preparing for this. It is important to know that marginalized people have never put their faith, we've never put our faith for liberation or reproductive freedom into the state to give to us. We have, in the same way that the right has been mobilizing to enact abortion bans and restrict access, the people who are pro-abortion, we are out here also mobilizing and also making connections across the country and with other states and other funds to ensure that people will be able to travel and access care. We are strong. We know that we can do this.
Jess, Donald Trump had this to say during the 2016 election. Take a listen.
You running for president of the United States will be chief executive of the United States. Do you believe believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
Okay, so meantime, Jess, Republicans in Louisiana crafting a bill that would classify abortion as homicide. Talk to me about the chilling effect that this would have for patients seeking care and also for those who might seek to help them.
Sure. And I can't speak to what legally will happen in our state because we don't yet know exactly how restrictive things will get on top of where they already are. But when you take people who are already marginalized and already stigmatized and scared, and then you threaten them with harm or punishment for something that really is a basic human right, it's just one of the most cruel things I can conceive of. Unfortunately, the states that will be most restrictive also tend to do a really poor job of supporting parents and families. So it's not as if they're going to keep people from having abortions and then support the babies that are born. That's not going to happen.